I wanted the family name. I wanted to have the same name as my children when their legal last names are Mountbatten Windsor. Their last names are not Sussex. Now they're known as the Prince and Princess of Sussex. But again, why are we adopting these titles from this royal family when we wanted nothing to do with this establishment?
No, and I have a clip. I just want to share this clip with you because I want you guys' take on it. I posted it yesterday on X, but I want to see what you guys think of it. Let me see if it's the volume here.
It nearly lost my name. I mean, there's the loss of identity.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and
It's
loves
so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
There you go.
I mean...
Oh, I think she's muted.
I mean, p-dina, you're muted.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I wanted to say that there's a famous quote by James Baldwin that says, I don't believe what you say because I see what you do. And we see all the time what she does. And it's like one contradiction after another. And it's almost like what that comedian, I forget his name. He's like, do you know we can see you? Like, do you know that we have seen you say this and you do this and now you're saying this? It's completely unfathomable what this woman does. I really think there's something seriously wrong with her, because I would be so embarrassed to say one thing, and people have seen and heard what I've done in the past to the royals, to her own family. The contradictions are endless. And it just is unbelievable.
Yeah, and also like we can pull up the clips. Like the Oprah interview, there was so much revealed in that Oprah interview that now her actions are so contradictory to that. But like we can very easily just pull the clip and play it and have a side by side, which is just jarring to me that we're still, pretending that it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's
but this is the thing that I don't get. I wouldn't be able to get out of my house after all the lies she said.
No.
Yeah.
Just like Blake Lively. How can Blake Lively go to Southwest? That's how it's said, right? What is it called?
South by Southwest.
Yes. How can she show her face? Or how can these people show their faces in public and with no shame?
Well, if you take it a step further, it's not even just about the shame. It's about the case she's battling in court right now. She's trying to tell the judge in her lawsuit that she's suffered damages, that she's traumatized, that her family is traumatized, her children are traumatized. She's losing money because of all of this. But it's like, but then you're walking on the red carpet. This is the second red carpet we've seen now. First, it was Saturday Night Live, the 50th anniversary, where they made a joke about this. And now here she is saying hi to all her fans, walking on the red carpet, so she's not really showing the judge. And I understand some people have to work, but it's like, there's a difference between showing up and walking the red carpet to take some photos, but yet she's here hugging fans and touching people and touching their chin very, very intimately, which for someone that's complaining about inappropriate hugging on the set of a film doesn't look good.
Yeah. The contradictions of these two, it's unbelievable. I think sometimes when your narcissism is so thick and so deep, it's like you can't even take in the cringe of all the things that you are doing, because you are so consumed with yourself that you can't even understand how all these things that you're doing are wrong. And that's why for people like that, there's something seriously, deeply wrong with their psyche and their mental capacity to learn and to understand that just certain norms in society that you don't behave this way.
Yeah.
And I feel like the biggest person that is going to be hurt the most out of all of this in terms of Meghan's situation is Harry, because he is starting to crack under all the pressure. And I think this is why he looks so miserable, and why he is going to have to try to figure out how is he going to get out of this situation? How is it ever going to change and be better for him? Now that he's in the thick of it now, I don't see it happening. And it's going to be a really big, I think, tragedy for him in terms of trying to get back some kind of normal life, because it's just tail spinning out of control for him. That's what I see.
Well, I'm here for the popcorn for sure, because this woman is because this woman is insane. I mean, I did an interview, Zach. I don't know if you know this, but a former maid reached out to me. And of course, we had to change her voice and all kinds of things. I had the guy from Sean Atwood, Ron, help me out, change her voice and stuff. And she said that she used to mock them because of their accent, right? This is back in February last year, that she used to mock them because she wanted them to say to her every morning, good morning, Princess Meghan, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. I mean, even for an English-speaking person, that is a big mouthful. I'm sorry. Yeah. So she would mock the way they spoke. So it was so interesting to see how she was mocking Mindy Kaling. By the way, I got it immediately, what she was saying, what she was asking about. What do you think that was so racist?
Your part was your look.
Has there been any, you're in California, Zach. Is there any backlash? What is the word on the street about this whole?
Not many people are fans of Meghan Markle. Well, the interesting thing is people did not like her in the UK, right? And everybody in the US very much loved her and embraced her because she was, an actress she starred in Suits, and then she went to the UK and we're like, oh yeah, that's one of our girls that's going out there. She's in the royal family where, she's doing it. And people loved her fashion and they loved everything about her. And then eventually, I think once she turned against the royal family, I think the Oprah interview was a really big turning point for a lot of people. It kind of just opened their eyes to see that she would just do or say anything if it got her attention. And then now there's a big disdain for them, especially because they claimed, they wanted their privacy and they needed to get away from the royal castle because it was too invasive. And then they fled to Canada, and then suddenly, we took them in as the royal refugees, and Tyler Perry had to, they sought refuge in his mansion because there were too much paparazzi in Canada. And I'm like, but then you moved to California. They're in Hollywood. Like, what? And they're not in Los Angeles, Hollywood. They're in Montecito. But Montecito is where you have a lot of celebrities. You have Oprah there. Like, it's not a quaint, quiet place. Like, buy a house in Montana if you want to get away from all the commotion, if you're going to come to the States. But they chose Southern California, which is where you're going to find a lot more paparazzi.
And I wanted to ask you about, I don't know if you heard, well, I'm sure you've heard about that. Now Justin Baldoni is being accused of toxic positivity. I mean,
hilarious.
No, I'm serious. Hey, he's too sensitive.
That's the worst thing that they can pull up on this dude, is that he's too nice to work with. And they think it's phony and it's toxic. And it's like, imagine that being the worst thing that they can find on you. That really tells you who this dude is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was skeptical of at the beginning. I was like, maybe he's fake. Maybe, he's, trying to be too, and toxic masculinity, and like maybe it was just all a performance, right? And now I'm just like, no, maybe he really is just a nice dude that really didn't deserve all this, because the more they dig up on him, the less they find.
How involved do you think Taylor Swift is?
I mean, I think she was used as a pawn by Blake Lively. I think Blake, used her for influence, used her to kind of, manipulate Justin Baldoni, manipulate other cast members on the show. And now I think Taylor Swift wants nothing to do with any of this. I think she wants to run for the hills. I think she's completely cut off Blake Lively. I think that's why we see Blake's legal team right now fighting to prevent their text messages from being accessed and released. Because I think there's probably, text messages with Taylor Swift that everybody wants to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be one of them. I would want to read one of them messages, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
She released all of him and his team's text messages, and now she's like, wait, no, now let's not do that. Let's not play by my rules, but I'm not going to play by my own rules.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But Taylor Swift can't walk it back, because she was involved. That we had that actress saying that it was Taylor Swift who was there. And why would Taylor Swift be at a meeting about a movie? Aren't those things like confidential?
Well, the source close to Taylor Swift revealed that Taylor didn't know that she was walking into this meeting, that she was just meeting her friend Blake, and the meeting happened to still be going on at their New York penthouse. And so Taylor was like, oh, well, if this meeting's going on, I'm going to be polite. I'm going to say hi to this guy. And I guess now I'm part of this meeting. Like, it was a very... So I don't know if Taylor knew what she was walking into or Blake strategically set it up that way. That's kind of what I think we're going to find with these text messages, is how much involved, because Taylor's like, I had no involvement. I don't even know this dude. But I think she may have had a bigger involvement than she wants the public to believe.
I think she's lying. I think she's lying because then they have like their producer or the music or something like that. And like,
yeah, the composer.
And she was there, and Justin Baldoni let it slip that Taylor Swift was there when they chose that woman, you know, like the young Lily Bloom and stuff like that. I mean, she can't walk it back, and I don't think the judge can grant that. Do you think the judge will grant? I'd be very angry if the judge grants that, because then we can gossip.
I don't think the judge will grant it. They made the hearing accessible to the public that we had on Friday or Thursday morning. And I think it was Thursday morning. And the judge didn't really seem too pleased with Lively's camp. And it doesn't seem like they're going to get the attorney's eyes only protection order that they're looking for, that they're hoping they'll get. I think he'll end up still granting the protective order, but I don't think it'll be as strict as they're wanting it to be.
Oh my God, Zach, that is so brutal. That is so brutal. And, you know, I'm sure you watched Drew Barrymore, and Drew Barrymore had to make her thing private. What? This is what I don't get. Why do they put themselves, even Drew Barrymore was like, girl.
What's going on with you?
And I don't think she was happy when Drew Barrymore came out with that picture of her giving it to, you know, when she gave the little ET to Princess Diana, because I think it's just my take on it. It was a way for Drew Barrymore to shade Meghan Markle, to say, I actually met Princess Diana.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, what a cringy thing. And I mean, why do these people... Why did she go in the Drew Barrymore? Not, I think Kate Hudson has a talk show or something like that. One of them black show host, or which one has is a black person that has like a talk show? Is it Kate?
Oh,
Hudson?
You're talking about Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is she going to go on her show? I'm wondering because I mean, has she been invited to like a round of media to like shows to go on? Because I would think that you would go on more than just one show to promote your show.
Yeah.
And that says so much if she doesn't.
Well, I don't know, you know what? But the thing is, though, I was watching it. It's just like watching a train wreck, because now she says she was a nanny of 2 Irish Catholic families, which is the first anybody has ever heard in our lives, because she's trying to imitate Princess Diana when Princess Diana babysat a young American baby boy. By the way, why don't these families come out and say, oh my God, we can't believe it, you know, like...
Yeah, there's no family's going to come out because it never happened.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah.
The only people coming out are her dad and her sister that have nothing nice to say about her.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to keep it real. The family's going to keep it real.
That was funny. Yeah, and I don't think she wants them talking.
No. That's all they got. Like Justin Baldoni, all they got was that it's toxic positivity. And then with Meghan Markle, it's like, listen, just because the people that are talking, you know, you don't like what they have to say.
But the thing is, apparently she clapped back at people like us, the 3 of us. I mean, it's not us specifically, but she said that people like us don't appreciate her art, and that we are misogynist, we're sexist, and that, you know, if we critique her, it's because we don't get her brand of feminism. You know, this is a woman who's basically went in front of the United Nations when her former agent booked her, and she talked about when she was 11 years old, a boy told her that she belonged in the kitchen, and she got so upset. She wrote to Procter & Gamble, And they changed a multi-million-dollar campaign, and she's always campaigned for girls to get out of the kitchen. And where is she back?
Back
In
in the
the kitchen.
kitchen. And yeah, even that story was a lie, you know, how she made it seem like she wrote to Procter and Gamble, and they changed it when a lot of people actually wrote in about that. It wasn't just because of her letter. And where are the people that have come out and vouch for her writing to Hillary Clinton and to others? They've never said that they wrote to her. Like, Meghan makes things true in her head, but they're not really the truth. But then we
Yeah.
need people to come out and validate, you know, and no one ever comes out and validates anything that she says. It's almost like she can make up whatever she wants and people will just believe it, you know. But I
Yeah.
think that tide is going to have to start turning, because we are seeing this woman says things, so many things that are not true. So many things.
I mean, but the worst part is that she keeps getting it. She, just like Blake Lively, she's enabled. You know, I don't understand how Ari Emanuel, I don't care how powerful he thinks he is. At some point, he's gonna. By the way, guys, go and subscribe to Zach Peter. I'm putting his channel there, so please run to subscribe to him. At least I want 50,000 on his channel, because he's really funny. You know. So I was gonna say, like, Ari Emanuel, at some point, these major A-listers are gonna have to say, you know what, guy, this is too much for me, because everybody's turning on Hollywood right now. I mean, don't you think so? Don't you think that it would be very smart of him to distance himself for certain types of celebrities? Because other A-listers might say, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I mean, what do you think that?
He was quick to distance himself from Justin Baldoni. We have the now lost Freakonomics podcast interview that he did that suddenly has disappeared. And they're like, oh, it was a tech issue. We didn't record it after all. Oops. This has never happened to us ever in all the years that we've been podcasting. But this one time this guy actually hurts his clients, suddenly we don't have audio or video of it. But it was in that interview where he said, I'm ride or die for Blake Lively. He calls Justin Baldoni Justin Baloney, because suddenly, even though Justin Baldoni was his client, suddenly he has no idea what his last name is. He says that he fired Justin Baldoni. So all of those things aren't playing well for Blake Lively's legal case, though. But he was quick to push Justin Baldoni to the side and choose Blake Lively. And I think in this case, he may have maybe jumped the gun a little too soon.
Absolutely. You know, they heard the recording of him saying that. There is a recording of that. Yeah, now.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the thing, though. Why are these A-listers still sticking? Because he's only as powerful because of the roster of clients he has, right? He can say, for example, to Variety, or say, you know what, if you don't treat this celebrity nice, then I won't allow this other celebrity to give you interviews. Is that how it works in Hollywood?
Yeah, I mean, your contacts, your black book, that's what your power is, right? I mean, you lose your power when you lose your clients or you lose your contacts. Or in this case, we're seeing just the influence that like traditional media and celebrities have is no longer, people are no longer falling for it. We're not buying into, these. Justin Baldoni was running a toxic workplace because he was too positive. Like these headlines, like we're not buying any of this anymore. We see through all of these tactics now. So their power is fading because their old tactics are so, 2004.
What have you heard? Is it true that Ari Emanuel has dropped her ass?
I don't think he's dropped her yet.
Okay, so this is what I heard. Okay, so he did not drop her, but word is that they're not really working for her. They're, because it's kind of like when you have an agent and you haven't heard from your agent in a while, you have to call and check in, how are things going? Because a lot of times you fall to the bottom of the list when they are thinking about projects, and you may be represented by them officially, but you're not really in their, in the front lines to be thought of for roles or auditions or things that come out. And so that's what it is now with her. She is still with them officially, but they have dropped off and are not really entertaining her position on their client list per se, and sending her out or working on her behalf. Because one of the issues is when she had contacted the agency and wanted to meet with Ari, and she wanted to know about her pitch decks or something about something that they were supposed to be working on, that they hadn't done anything with it, and she got really upset about it. And so she sees that they're not really working on her behalf. And, that's part of the issue why they said that they did not want to work with her, because of her demands. And she's so entitled and arrogant, and has just made a lot of people at the agency very upset. So it may be official, but it's not really like they're working for her. And that's what the situation is.
I just think they keep her around because of Prince Harry, to tell you the truth. I mean, when it comes down to, because look at how Drew Barrymore, which was really creepy. And you know what? I really hate it when she says H. I'm going to call him H. It's like, because
so pretentious.
She wants to be called Megan Sussex, but then she goes in H because she tries to denigrate or, downplay his importance, like she wouldn't be sitting on anybody's couch. Like the Duchess of Sussex or anything. Well, she would be on a couch, but not sitting.
And, one of the things that really bugged me is the episode she did with Nacho's wife, where she kept calling Nacho's husband and Harry the boys this and the boy, the boys. I mean, how disrespectful are you? I mean, do you have to be to your husband and your friend's husband to constantly call them the boys, like they're your kids? That's just so wrong to me.
It's just her way of trying to be I'm relatable. Like when she was in the show where she's we're gonna frost the cake now, but I'm just gonna use this Ziploc baggie and I'm gonna cut the tip. And this is this is a trick I learned. It's
right.
My grandma learned that in 1940. This is it's not a new trick. It's nothing novel or groundbreaking.
Right.
And she's look at my outfit. I have my Zara pants, and her pants were what, $50, but then her top was $1,500. And she's I like to dress low high.
And then I like when she said, I don't bother with all that expensive equipment and stuff. I just have a little baggie, well, you have other expensive things. We're not going to be relatable.
You're renting an entire house just for the kitchen so you could film here.
Right. Do you know how much it cost each episode? Was $100,000 is what I was told. Is that crazy?
Expensive. It's expensive.
So with $100,000, are you serious? Is it that serious what you're doing in the kitchen? I mean, that's just unbelievable to me. The amount of money wasted on that nonsense.
And I just want to, because a lot of people are thinking that she just got a new season renewed because that's gaslighting. They filmed the 16 episodes at once. Okay. So, and it's funny because as we speak, I mean, I kid you not, this is the trademark. Let me see if this is the one for As Ever. It's still pending.
It's still pending.
This is still pending.
Yeah.
This is pending. This was just generated right now. It's As Ever. It's still pending. Because she's got so many problems with that thing, she has a Chinese company. She has the As Ever photography as well, which is trademarked. She has the As Ever clothing shop in New York, which is not trademarked, but apparently has some common law rights because they've been using that for so many years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is insane. I'm I wanted to ask you something. This is not Meghan Markle related, Zach, but you know the tea on this. Anna Kendrick, she's promoting the movie. She's with Blake Lively and that guy with 365 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maroney, what was his name?
It's spelled Michelle, but I guess it's pronounced McKaylee. I think is how you pronounce it.
He's hot anyways. He's hot. Yeah. But Anna Kendrick has not been photographed with Blake Lively.
I don't think she likes her. I don't. Well, I mean, I've heard that they're both difficult on set in general. Just like Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively are both not the most pleasant to work with. So then you put two of them on a set together. I believe the rumors that they don't like each other. And can you imagine Anna Kendrick right now? She's like, I want to promote my film. I just want to make my money. And then I have to deal with Blake Lively and all her drama. And then the one thing everybody wants to ask me about is her drama. Anna Kendrick wants nothing to do with Blake. And she's just trying to get through South by Southwest as quickly as possible. Because then they even asked her, someone's like, oh, what was it like working with Blake again? And she's like, oh, and then she just kept walking.
No, No, I don't. I don't understand why these reporters don't say, no, I don't. Can you tell us a little bit more? I mean, I'm sure if you were in that red carpet asking the questions would be probably fabulous. Why not? Tell us more. How was it working with her? Is it toxic positivity on set working with her? I mean, that's terrible.
I'll tell you, there's no positivity in that one.
No. And I'm wondering why, like Peter and I were saying that that Ari Emanuel is so powerful, and yet the only thing that they were able to secure to this woman was a cooking show that's bombed everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think people are looking at her as somebody who's trying to call all the shots. She doesn't listen to anybody. I think they probably had things that they wanted to have her do, but she just didn't want to listen or do what was recommended for her. And everything that she will do will bomb because they haven't had any success. The only time they have success is when they, what the Brits say, slag off the royals, slag off the royals. So yeah, they're never going to really be able to get her anything, I think, now, because one thing that I saw, who was saying it? Somebody was talking about anytime they have Meghan on or they do something with Meghan, there's this immediate firestorm of negativity that surrounds people that do anything with her. And I think the word is getting out in Hollywood in general about how toxic Meghan really is, and that a lot of negativity follows her, and people just don't want to be bothered with that. They don't want to have that surrounding them. And it's true. Meghan, no matter what she does, she just brings a lot of cringe with her, and people just don't want to deal with her. And this is why I think you see a lot of people in the industry kind of backing away. The people we saw her with in the beginning when she first came over, people just, I mean, is Serena going to be on her show? You think maybe she's on season 2? Like, where's Gail? Where's Oprah? Where's Tyler? Where's Kerry Washington?
Where are her friends?
Yeah. Paris Hilton, the people that were on Archetypes with her, Mariah Carey, like these people, I think got the hint, and they're like, well,
even Mindy Kaling, she just did an interview. Was it Good Morning America? It was one of those morning talk shows, and she just did an interview, and she's like, I had a good time, but it's so interesting. Every time I do anything with Meghan, there's always a lot of people talking.
Yes, that's what it was.
They're not saying good things.
Yeah, yep. That's so true.
And she said, but I'm not here to talk about Meghan. I'm here to promote Running Point, which is actually quite cool. I've watched the season. I was laughing because Kate Hudson is fantastic. I mean, have you watched it? I watched the whole thing. I've rewatched it and rewatched it because it's actually very good. It's very funny. It's not politically correct. So for those who have sensitive things to being politically correct, do not watch it, But it's so funny. And Kate Hudson it's just amazing, It's like, Yeah. I love that. So she pretty much snapped back at the person and said, you know what, I'm here to promote my thing.
Yeah,
I was like, damn girl, like that's brutal. But and apparently Meghan Markle wants her to deny that she was racist to her when she was mimicking look, because people in India are very angry,
Oh, really? Okay.
But I don't get it, Zach. I understood it. Did you understand when she first asked about it?
I mean, I understood what Meghan was saying. I don't know. I mean, or not Meghan, Mindy was saying, I don't know. Meghan just, it's like, you're cool and you're relatable, but then you're like, you don't understand what she's trying to say about, like, tell me about your look. Like, it's just like, come on, like, are you cool or are you not cool? Like, which are you, Gwyneth Paltrow, or are you Jenny are you Jennifer Lopez, or are you Jenny from the Block? Like, which one is it? Because neither of them are that likable.
Right.
By the way, is it true that Ben and Jen Gardner are back? I heard that they were like very friendly.
I think she's just nice. I think she knows that that's her kid's father, and he's a hot mess. I mean, come on, nothing. She's not like, oh yeah, I love the way he smokes his cigarettes and drinks Dunkin' Donuts all day long. Like, there's nothing that I think Jennifer Garner is that into. Which, by the way, if Jennifer Garner did one of these Meghan Markle style shows on Netflix, a little cooking show in the kitchen, I would totally believe that, because Jennifer Garner just seems like that kind of mom. Whereas Meghan Markle, we never even see her kids.
Right, you never see her kids. I mean, and then I think showing the backs of her kids is just her trying to be relatable with the kids on her Instagram. Like she'll post like pictures of them from behind, which I don't think Harry wants her to do at all because I don't think he wants the kids anywhere around. But she does that because she wants to try to, be relatable and to show like, oh, here are my kids. But she'll show other people's kids, she'll go do
Yeah.
stuff with other people's kids, but don't dare show her own kids. And I don't understand. And then just really quickly though, Paula, to the person here, honesty and truth. This was something that people were saying when they saw the chicken in the refrigerator.
Uh-huh.
She says, here's a tip for you. As pointed out by another YouTuber, don't put raw chicken near fresh food, for goodness sake. We all know this. We're so happy to find out how to make ice cubes. Yeah, so I saw, and that was a good catch because I didn't see that initially. My goodness.
Oh no. And the worst part is that popcorn
Thank you,
thing.
honesty and truth.
Is that popcorn thing, and then she has the bag of popcorn. Did you see
right,
that?
right next
Did
to
you
it?
see that?
Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness,
That
woman.
she said that she put the popcorn in, and then actually there's there's organic popcorn that apparently that's the real popcorn she used, pretending to be like truffle. That is so
Continuity.
crazy.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
so
God.
wrong. Oh my goodness.
And I have to say, because you got to give it to these women. Do you think that they're surrounded by people who keep telling them that you're doing good, you're doing well, Zach? Do you think that they don't really know that they suck?
I mean, I think like with Blake Lively, I think whoever's around her like truly has convinced her that there's this smear campaign against her, and which is just funny because it's like we're three people with three opinions of our own with critical thinking skills that can just observe her behavior and make a judgment. Like there's no smear campaign. There's no any retaliation is because we're retaliating against her insufferable behavior. But I think the people that she has around her like they're yes people, and they're going to continue to appease her and do whatever she says and make her feel like she's so important that the only conceivable theory is that there must be this orchestrated campaign against her, because why else would people not like her? It's like, well, maybe watch your own interviews. Maybe there's a start.
Yeah.
But do you think one of the things that I do always see, for example, from people like Blake Lively or Taylor Swift or whoever is this crazy chick doing things, why is the power of gaslighting in Hollywood? I gotta tell you, I am surprised. I thought that by now people would be so over it and would be calling them out more, but for some reason it's just there. I mean, Taylor Swift, I don't think she's really faced any backlash. And Ryan Reynolds doing that thing on Saturday Night Live, that was so cringy. It's not even funny. I mean, what are people saying about Ryan Reynolds?
I mean, well, I thought it was interesting that Ryan Reynolds wasn't at South by Southwest with her because they do everything. They always go to the red carpets to support each other's movies. Like they're always hand in hand. So it was interesting that he didn't show up for her here. But I mean, listen, nobody's liking Ryan Reynolds now. All his old interviews have resurfaced of when he was working with Olivia Wilde, and they were, they had their intimate scene, and then he's on Jay Leno joking about like, oh yeah, and then her boobs were there, and then we cut the scene, and even though we cut, my hands just went back and grabbed them again. He's like, it was just like an impulse, and it's like, what? Like, oh, so but you're mad that he asked the trainer how much she weighed, and like that pissed you off, but you can just grab women's boobs in between takes. Like it's insane that there are these double standards that they have that are just laughable at this point.
I don't know if it was in one of your podcasts that I heard, please correct me if I'm wrong, that there was a stunt lady, the first lady of color that died on Deadpool. Was it on one of your podcasts that you guys talked about it?
Yeah, yes, it was a stunt woman. I believe it was the second Deadpool film. So not the most recent one that they did with Hugh Jackman with Wolverine. But yeah, that there was a tragic accident that happened on set. And it's like, well, why don't you worry about what's going on your own sets rather than what's going on this set when you're not even working on It Ends With Us? Like, why are you on set? Why are you doing promotion for this film? Like, it was so weird when he had himself and Hugh Jackman sit down with Brandon Sklenar and film that weird interview that they did to promote the film because they thought that it was funny. And it's like, yeah, let's just make a bunch of really funny promotions about DV awareness. Like, LOL.
No, but that was so weird. I gotta tell you, I remember I just started seeing that clip of Ryan Reynolds interviewing Brandon Spinner, and I'm like, it wasn't funny. And then he brought his mother in, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't find it funny. I was like, what the fudge is going on here? It was
So
the
weird.
weirdest thing on earth. But yeah, for people who don't know this, in the second Deadpool movie, I think she was the first lady of color who was a stunt woman who died, and she wasn't. They didn't even allow her to wear a helmet or anything like that because they wanted the hair to show or something like that. I think they settled because I think they settled because there's no scandal about it or anything like that.
We didn't hear, but that also shows you like how powerful the machine was at that time, where they were able to just not let that become a headline story, because that's a big story. Even now, it's not being widely reported on by these big, news agencies that are covering Justin Baldoni's toxic positivity. It's like, well, wait, there was actually a really interesting story about a woman that you could have highlighted who lost her life on the set of Ryan Reynolds' film. But yeah, let's talk about the toxic positivity that's going on with Justin Baldoni.
And the first Black woman, I think, that was a stunt woman, and this happened during the BLM and everything, when it was really, really, I mean, this is how powerful these people are. Because, Pat, you look like you don't know what I'm talking about. You never heard this?
I hadn't heard anything about this.
There you go. You see? There you go. That's not good. Well, I wonder what. And I have to ask you, do you think that Justin Baldoni is going to go to trial?
I go back and forth every day. I mean, I think if she's smart, she settles and just pays him his money, because if it does, and we heard this from the judge this week, where they were saying like there are all these things that they want to make sure don't get out into the public, because they have a lot of high profile friends and celebrities, which people only can presume Bradley Cooper, Taylor Swift, like people that were attached to this film, are going to be dragged in. Their
Bradley
messages
Cooper?
maybe. Yeah. So
what do you mean Bradley Cooper?
She, I guess Blake, when she was editing the film, or she was trying to get her edit done, she hosted like a private screening. And so she had other A-listers at this private screening at her penthouse in New York. And Bradley Cooper was one of them. And so that's why, if you'll notice in the credits for It Ends With Us, her thank you credits, she credits Bradley Cooper. So I would imagine they're going to try to depose him. And so, but the judge made a really good point, because right now they're saying, oh, well, we want to make sure that like these details don't leak into the public. But the judge is like, well, if this goes to trial, one, the public has a right to have access to the information, right? But also, two, like if this goes to trial, this will be all made public at some point. Like this is what you started.
It's better, because get your popcorn out. We'll all be sitting here watching this, because it has to.
Absolutely.
But you see, I got to ask you, this is what I think, that I don't think Justin Baldoni would take only the money in order for him to restore his reputation, because he needs a public apology. And
that's what his attorney said. Yeah, there was no way they're going to settle. You have to give a public apology. I mean, that is just so egregious what she's done. How can you not give an apology?
No, but this is when you say that he better take his money and run. He needs to have a public apology, because otherwise his reputation is shot.
The money's not worth it. Like the money, even if he does get his full $400 million, which he won't get personally, because there's also Steve Sorowitz and Jamie Heath and Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan. Those are all the parties that are collectively suing Blake Lively. So that settlement will be split amongst all of them. But I mean, Steve Sorowitz doesn't need the money. He's a billionaire that I'm sure will want the apology, that he's going to continue to fight for this. Jamie Heath, I mean, I don't know which of them need the money or not, but there are multiple defendants in this lawsuit that, I mean, no amount of money is going to be able to repair the damage that has been done to these people with these allegations that to this day she still can't even prove. Not a single text message, not an email. She has no problem releasing all of his messages, right? And all of his team's correspondence, but she can't. I mean, and where's the Sisterhood of the Traveling HR Complaints? Where's Jenny Slate? Like, when are they going to come out and go public on record?
Right.
I just don't get it. Why would they produce? You know what it is like? It's like they want us to. they don't think the internet. I've always said for many, many years that the internet is the downfall of these people, because look at what they pulled on Blake. Look at what we're pulling on Meghan Markle, Amber Heard, when she wrote that co-op or op-ed or whatever that she wrote, and then Amber Heard saying that she was on Blake Lively's side. I don't think that helped.
That was such a Amber Heard, and then Amber Heard's attorney then came out and did an interview and was like, "Oh, this
Really?
looks really." Yeah, she did an interview. Elaine, she's the attorney that.
Oh
and
yeah,
I'm just
Elaine, I
like,
forgot about that.
I'm like, Elaine, can we sit this one out, because like you already fumbled the ball. You fumbled the ball. That the last thing anybody wants is for you to be coming out and like.
She was so annoying during that trial. She was so annoying during the Johnny Depp trial. I kept yelling at the screen, it's like, shut up. It was just driving me insane. She gave an interview saying that they're going wrong about it.
She gave an interview saying that she doesn't have much faith in Baldoni's side, that because she's an expert. I'm like, you're an expert at losing. Like, that's
right.
And also, I don't think Blake Lively's team wants you in their court right now.
Oh my God. All we need is Jada now coming up and giving her her support. It's like, oh my God.
We need Jussie Smollett to make a statement
right.
in support of Blake Lively.
Whatever happened to him?
Oh my God.
What happened to Jussie Smollett? What happened to him? Didn't he go on appeal or something like that?
He did win his. So I believe, I don't know if the appeal's ongoing, or I think he won the appeal.
What do you mean he won the appeal?
So the charges were dropped against him. Not because he was right, but again, it was it's like a Bill Cosby. It was a technicality that ultimately, let him off the hook, because I guess at some point there was a deal that was on the table. And so there were terms that he was supposed to abide by in order to accept that deal. And his attorney proved, well, actually this deal was on the table and we've since done all of those things. So we should still be entitled to this deal.
Oh my God. And you know that apparently Harvey Weinstein is appealing his sentence. That's going to be interesting if he gets off free.
Yeah.
Do you think he's so powerful?
No, I don't think he has any power left at this point.
Absolutely not. But isn't there another trial in LA or California
for Weinstein?
Yeah.
That's his appeal. He's appealing his. Is
that the one he's appealing?
Yep, because he was exonerated from the New York one. He won the appeal in the New York, and he's doing a sentence for 16 years right now. And apparently Candace Owens has been interviewing this man for 2 years, and she's doing a series on him. And he's only in jail for one charge of this woman, and apparently it's very bad. And I wonder if he gets off free, because this man must have a lot of knowledge of a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it's like Diddy. Right now, everyone's waiting for Diddy to start singing like a canary. Everyone's like, Diddy, give us all the names in Hollywood. Diddy knows who was at the parties.
And listen, what happened with Jay-Z? Is it true that he won everything?
He was named in he was named in one of the lawsuits, and he's since been dropped in that case, which wasn't a really strong case against him to begin with. It was like 20-year-old case, or a 20-year-old incident that, they didn't have strong evidence to prove that Jay-Z was there. So he was able to get them to remove him from that lawsuit.
You know what? If I were Diddy, I would sing like a canary to get out of there.
That's what I'm saying. Diddy needs to start naming names. I'm sure he already is. I'm sure that's why everything's kind of quiet right now, is because they're building cases against everybody else. And Diddy's probably, to save himself, he's going to start, taking people down with him.
But do you think he has actual evidence?
This
is the man who recorded. And what about Justin Bieber? I wonder if the things about Justin Bieber are true. He doesn't look well, does he?
He's not doing well right now.
No.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing well for a while, and I think that's an unfortunate case with him.
What kind of mother drops her kid off to a rapper? I'd like to know that, and gives power of attorney for a weekend.
Someone that clearly is fame, blinded by fame and celebrities.
And we're going to wrap it up because it's almost an hour. But what do you guys think? Guys, I hope you're running to subscribe to Zach's channel, which is right around here. You know, and I hope you come back, Zach, because we love
Yes,
having
I would
you
love
here.
to.
Yes, yes, yes.
And
And
nice to
listen,
meet you, Zach. Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
I have been fun. You know, I was laughing so hard with the things that you've been posting. You know, because I saw the one where you do the pop podcaster too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's right here. I'm going to show because I have all your stuff up here. You know, and I was like, oh my god, you know, like. You guys are so funny and you are so well connected with everybody. I mean, do you ever get any backlash from people who say, oh, you should be talking about that?
All the time. All the time. I'm
You
like, okay,
do?
just keep commenting and it just keeps boosting the engagement.
But that's exactly. So you do get clapback. I'm surprised.
Well, you know what it is now? I've determined that it's a smear campaign against me. Any negative comments that anybody
That's a
says from
smear
here on out,
yeah.
I'm gonna say is a smear campaign against me. It's orchestrated
Right.
by Blake
Okay.
Lively herself.
Do a Meghan. It's misogynistic. You know what I'm thinking that I'm surprised though? She hasn't used the racist word on the US press. She does it on the UK
She
press.
did it on Oprah. Remember, she said that
But that's a UK press. I'm talking about the US press.
Oh, that's right. You're right. About
You know, like the
calling them
Hollywood
racist.
Reporter,
Yeah.
TMZ. She hasn't called them racist. Have you noticed that? And I mean, in the UK, when she hasn't used the R word with them. I mean, you guys were. I was laughing my ass off so hard when your friend said you were doing the pop ass, and he says like American Riviera or just like a Confederate thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. And then the guy was just laughing because she said she's black now, and I was like,
Yeah.
and your friend just lost it. I was just laughing. Because I mean, did you guys know that she was black? If you didn't, if nobody ever told you.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know her background. I didn't, I just knew she was an actress on Suits that married Prince Harry. And then I found out she didn't even know who he was before, meeting the Queen. I'm like, wait, you had no idea who, even I know who Prince Harry, like we know who Prince Harry is.
Right. And this is the other thing. She was living in Canada at the time. The Queen's is on the money in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. That's what doesn't even make sense.
I'm Canadian, so I know.
Right. It's like, I mean, it's like we can see you. We see, it just goes back to that thing again.
So this is the thing. When you guys, are you going to watch the rest of the episodes or have you had enough with 2?
I don't know if I'm going to watch anymore. I feel like I get the gist of it. Like,
right.
I mean, I don't even know if I need to learn how to make ice cubes. Like, I feel like everything that she's tried to teach me, I've already, like, I loved the tip with the Ziploc baggie. Like, that was groundbreaking, but I don't know if I need any more.
It's the same old. I'm dreading to have to, I have to kind of go rewatch a couple things just because.
Why?
Because we have to do it for the people that are watching us that are not watching the show. We have to take one for the team, Paula. You know that.
Yeah, but I tried to, and I mean the one that always, because I speak Spanish, Zach. I'm also Latina, right? So and I mean J-Lo does not speak for us, but it really bothers me when people double down when she said in the Delfina Valquier thing. She speaks perfect Argentinian because I lived a few months in Argentina. No, you don't speak Argentinian because that's not a language. You speak Spanish or you don't. It's like saying I speak Texan or I speak Miamian, and in Colombia, she rehearsed 5 lines. She fumbled them. She had a horrible accent. And this is a woman who claimed is fluent in Spanish in her curriculum vitae, resume, you call it, and that she was Caucasian. So, I mean, do you think that she's going to get anything more, Zach? What's the buzz in Hollywood and California where you are? Is she going to get anything?
J-Lo?
Other than this? I mean, I'm asking you, have you heard anything if she's going to get anything else other than this cooking thing that she has going?
Like any more gigs or things?
No, I mean, I think everything's I think this was her really lucky gig that she ended up landing. I don't know who she ended up connecting with to get her this gig, but I mean, and as we know, like WME isn't even really officially representing her anymore. I think now they're just claiming they still have projects on the roster with Archwell, which is her foundation. So it doesn't, I don't know. I don't think she has much. Well, we did hear there was what publication was it? Vanity Fair? They published an article and they said that at one point there was like her team was in communication with publishers that were trying to sell a divorce book. And people are like, what? Why is Meghan Markle shopping around a divorce book if she's still happily married to Prince Harry?
Yeah,
We'll see. She'll find a way. I mean, she'll probably leave Harry when she needs, the next chapter of her
Oh
life.
God, that thing about what the guy that told me that I was babysitting for him told me never to stop dating my wife. All you have to do is type it in. It actually belongs to a guy named Sean D. Feldham, who wrote a book about it in 2018. And it's like, come on.
It's been said before. Yeah.
Do you know where her 43% Nigerian story comes from, Sag?
No, I didn't even
actually,
know.
There is actually a woman who was brought up in the United Kingdom in Sussex, and she was black, but both her parents were white. So every time she kept asking, why do I look differently? They said, oh, well, I might have something. She wrote a book about it. I'll send you the link so you can look it up and you can do a funny video about it, because her name is Georgina Lawson. And then when she was in Nicaragua, I'm based in Nicaragua right now in Central America at the beach house. So it's like, well, she was on a beach house in Nicaragua. She got her DNA test results, and she found out that she was 43% Nigerian, and she phoned her mom. And she published a book in 2021. And then Meghan came up with the story on 2022. And she literally repeated the exact same story that she found out through a test. And then she phoned her mom to tell her about it. And it's because of this book by this girl, Georgina.
Oh, wow.
There's absolutely nothing authentic about this woman, and I even hate the word authentic because she repeats it so much.
Now, isn't South Park going to be coming out with another episode?
Oh my God.
I can't wait to see that. That's going to be classic, I'm telling you.
And how is Ilaria doing? How's Ilaria, Zach? How is she doing?
God.
Oh my God.
They have their reality show now.
Yeah. No, I am going to do a video about it. I'm so pissed about that. I mean,
have you seen it yet?
I saw the first one. I wanted to almost break my computer when she was saying, no, she's justifying, basically lying about being from Spain. Then what happened to Rachel Dolezal?
Oh, yeah.
Have you watched it?
I haven't heard from her in a minute.
No, but have you seen the Laria Baldwin thing?
No, I haven't seen I haven't watched their show yet. I've heard about it, and I've heard it's a hot mess. But
where's it airing? What's streaming?
I think it's on TLC.
TLC, yeah, but it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. They have it on YouTube.
Okay.
And they do these testimonials. I mean, and you can hear, oh my God, there's a moment when she's giving birth to one of them 7 kids, right?
Okay.
And the kid, they put the kid on her chest, like and then she starts speaking Spanish to the kid.
What?
I'm so glad and I was like, Zach, I know you don't believe it, but go watch it. And it's like,
I have to watch it now.
And I'm like, what is this? And her Spanish accent is terrible. If you're a Spanish speaker, if you're a native, she's badly speaking Spanish, right? But the first thing she says, this woman from Boston, is like, I am so, in a very bad Spanish, I'm so glad you're part of my life. I love you. And I'm like, the kid is full of blood, right? Because just pulled them out and put it on her chest. Those are her Spanish words to her kid.
I mean, this lady.
People.
But it's you, Hollywood, who support her, because why isn't anybody clapping back at her?
I think people are just over her. I don't even know if anybody's really watching that show. Not only that, but then we have, Alec Baldwin. Like, it's just the two of them. I feel like people are over at this point.
Oh, well, yeah. We're going to get going, guys, but we want to thank Zach. And Zach, you have to come back, darling, because everybody's going to love you. Everybody's going to come and talk to you. And you're welcome here anytime. I'm sure PDina would love to have you on her channel too, although we're streaming on PDina's channel as well as we speak. So you got both of our audiences. So you should get a lot of subscribers and beautiful comments, and just ignore the idiots who leave nasty comments. What's it called that Meghan calls it, or Blake Lively? Noise. They're just noise.
Just noise that she's suing for.
We have to be toxic, positively toxic, So thank you for coming, you two. Thank you, Zach, and we love you here. Thank you so very much, and you have a wonderful Saturday, guys.
Okay, thank you. Bye, you guys. Bye-bye.